win-win is not what we're talking about over here, is it, JaLynn?
No, it isn't.
Welcome back.
Thank you very much.
Tell us what happened with these two adults.
We've had a very difficult situation that has played out here in our county in Rockville, and is where our foundation offices happen to be, although we're a national organization. So we've had a focus on this. The information is still sketchy, but there were two 22-year-old autistic individuals that were confined to the basement of a home.
Now 22 is an important year because you can still be going school, education benefits, county benefits, continue till you're 21, right?
Yes, and it's kind of interesting with this age, whether it is totally relevant in this story, it is relevant in many other stories too, because as soon as one completes high school, very often there is something called the cliff, because services are often very difficult to find for families and for individuals that are on the spectrum, and Montgomery County is no exception.
And you can learn more about the autism spectrum, you can learn much more about Madison through your website. So
yes.
what's that website?
MadisonHouse.org.
Okay.
And we've got information on that, and we're working primarily with those 21 and over, so this is right with our population. There's not a lot of organizations that are working with adults on the spectrum.
So these two adults locked away, and just this week, and we don't know all the facts, right?
We don't know all the facts. There are some things about autism. I can understand both sides. I don't want to see anyone in deplorable conditions whatsoever. I can understand, on the other hand, the desperation of many parents who are dealing with autism 24/7. And we have more and more autistic individuals that are living at home with their parents because there aren't the supports. They're home 24 hours a day. Mom is no longer working. She's no longer a taxpayer. She is a 24-hour caregiver. And if you have a child, an adult child, who may be up all night and is prone to wandering and will escape the house, what are the alternatives? Where is the help? And there are things that our society, our county, needs to address. And we've had some serious cutbacks in our county recently.
And that's really terrible, because the care and the needs are expensive. And so you really need to help these families, because these children, although they're adults, they are citizens of this county just like anybody else. And they have the right to live a healthy life in habitable conditions and cared for and protected.
You're so right. And there's such a wide array of individuals on the spectrum. There are people that are in Silicon Valley that are doing incredible things that we benefit from every day. And then there are those that need a lot more supervision. And those individuals, in fact, even some in the middle, are being overlooked. There aren't the opportunities, there aren't the employment opportunities for appropriate engagement where there are skill levels that are adequate.
How do you recruit individuals to assist families in these times? I mean, this is a challenging job. You've got to be able to pay them a lot of money, I would think.
It is huge. There are some fundings that come into families, or that families can qualify for. They have been cut. Our county is not being really glorious right now with the amount of funds that are going out to help with resource coordination.
I think also the issue of the cliff is, so not only are families not getting their resources through MCPS or the school system, but there's also not an agency watching out for those children. So in this situation, it was a horrendous situation, and there was nobody in those young adults' lives to oversee that, and
no advocates, really.
No advocates.
And there have been some
cutbacks. It was inadvertent. They found them on a search warrant for a completely separate issue. So
and there are tragedies being played out in houses across our county. They may not be as graphic as this, but every bit as painful, perhaps to elderly parents, perhaps to the individuals on the spectrum.
Sounds to me like it's ripe for a lawsuit. Do you know any lawyers on this panel?
We would love to have a chance. And I would hope that it wouldn't have to get to that point. I would hope that our county, our community, and our elected officials will hear the cry, because there is a tsunami of individuals coming forward. And these are members of families that have been tax-paying families for their lifetime.
I think the community needs to be educated. They don't need to fear these young adults that are handicapped or that have autism, or I have a girl that works in my office and she's handicapped and she helps us out. She comes once a week and we love having her. She brings a smile to the office, the cheer. But you know, when she comes to the office, some of the other lawyers of another firm were kind of like, "Who's that?"
Right.
You know, and it's not a client. It's
so, are there things we should know
5
about
seconds.
with respect to this issue that we should keep an eye on?
You get 3 words.
Well,
that's it.
Keep your eyes open, be understanding, and help the families that you know and give them some love and support.
That's the last word. Thank you very much, JaLynn. Thank you for coming back. Thank all of you for joining me today. And thank all of you in the viewing audience for this week's edition of Montgomery Week in Review. I'm Don Moores. We invite you to come back again next week at this very same time.